Today, I'm going to suffer. And if you ask yourself why, it's because we are doing a fun thing called tank only, which normally is painful enough. But today's nation, I dread it, Japan. And it's not for the obvious reasons, because Japan actually has an industry. I remind you about tank only Netherlands. There were some other problem. But with Japan, we have an industry. We just don't have fuel, and we have to occupy all of China. With tanks. Yes, I forced myself to do garrison with tanks. This is gonna be so painful. Did I also mention this is a wall conquest? Yeah. And also, this video is sponsored by Warthunder, so big love to them. But I would say without further ado, Iron Man, historical, and go. First and foremost, the biggest tradition in this challenge, let's delete the army, because I can't have it. I'm not allowed to have fun. Even worse, occupy territories, no garrison. Yes, I mean it. I have to garrison with tanks. And if you think about our first war, this is quite painful. Oh, you need so much tanks to garrison China. But I have a bit of a solution. It makes it less painful, but doable. And that's what we're going for. Production, super important. I'm gonna stop producing everything that is not a tank, and we're gonna put everything into tank production. Even the planes down here. Because we will need as much tanks as we can get. Right now we have 0. That's a bad amount of tanks. The good news is that we actually start with the production of tanks, meaning we have production efficiency at the beginning, and if you don't unpause the game, you keep whatever production efficiency you had, no matter how many mills. So if I put all of my mills into this one tank, right at the start, we get full production efficiency for the tank, which is super good, and that's why I put everything into here, because we need tanks. They are by far the most expensive, and trust me, we're not gonna be missing guns right now, because I just deleted the entire army. So yeah, we actually have a stockpile of guns. Quite a bit. Research, 1936 tank. Sounds pretty good. Otherwise, engineering and production. Construction, pretty straightforward. Let's just build mills. We need mills. And for the focus, that's gonna be a bit weird, because I would love to start over here and get industry. But if you think about our main problem right now, is that we don't have any garrison. So first focus, we're gonna go down over here right now and get some army experience. We need army experience, okay? But yeah, that's the setup. That was already painful. And yes, for the foundational rules of this challenge, I sometimes don't repeat it anymore, and that is because what everyone watched this series before. I'm allowed to have Navy, I'm allowed to have Air Force, and for my tank divisions to count as tank divisions, they need to have 50% hardness, and they should have something motorized or mechanized in it. Like, I'm not gonna allow infantry, I'm not gonna allow horses. It should be something kinda armored, not walking on legs. And yeah, you see in the background, we already got a good amount of tanks there. They're not good, and we're gonna need a lot more for garrison, but for us having 0 tanks at the beginning, they're pretty good. Anyways, that focus is done. Super important now. We're gonna rush down the historical focus. I know Florius playing historical and actually going down the historical path, but it is for a world conquest the best path for Japan. I'm not gonna do the Civil War. That's just no. I'm not gonna go down non-aligned, where I can't really attack anyone except like a certain rule set, or democratic, where I'm just screwed. So yeah, we're gonna go down the Emperor route. And you know what I mean with the Emperor route. Also, something you can expect later in the video is an actual small navy guide, because we have to build a navy. Otherwise, we can't defeat Joe Biden. Hello. He does this like Germany. Something I did completely forget, at least nearly, because we are not that far into the game, but I forget it like nearly every time, is this over here. The bonus we can get through the competition between land and naval forces. First thing we just straight up need is prioritizing steel for guns, because I need the mill factories. They are a necessity. I will also rebuild our tank division to only use tanks, literally for now only use tanks, because we don't have enough points to get motorized inside right now. It's just too expensive, but just having tanks is also legal. Doing this, putting it in as garrison, putting it to local police force, and deleting all the other divisions. You see, nothing hidden, we only have the tank division now, meaning we're probably, yeah, we're in a deficit now. We need more tanks. That's why we're basically putting everything into tanks right now, to kind of calm down the unrest that started to spring up in the provinces. I'm also going to commandeer civilian trains, losing us 5 stability, but giving us a good amount of trains, and we will need a lot of trains for the supply in China. So yeah, that is worth. That is actually worth. I'm always missing trains at the beginning. That's why I'm building them, by the way. The only thing I'm also building before tanks now is supply stuff. Super important, by the way, because I see we're about to research the better tank. I will go to our template and activate auto upgrade. And we could also add this company here. It's still not good, but I would like to have the better version of this. Plus, auto upgrading saves you a lot of army experience in getting the newer models. So yeah, always forget it. It is super good. Activate it. New tank is here. I'm gonna be going down this route over here for the autocannon, because against China that is more than enough. We just need soft attack, and that boy over here has soft attack, so we're gonna get it. As for our government, I would love to get this silent workhorse right now, but more important is the army offense guy, and probably we won't do Air Force yet, so I guess actually Navy, because we have to start it early, as I said. What we can also do now is do a special project, and I'm of course, as Japan, gonna build the Yamato class battleship, because it's fun, and it's also not too bad. It is not worth it, but it is fun, and it is good, if it wouldn't be so expensive. I will also start building a few tanks now, actually quite a bit. I mean, if we can do it, sure. So we have something on the field, meaning we miss a lot of tanks now, but we should catch up. What I'm gonna do for now too is not really upgrade these tanks yet, because I just need tanks for now, okay? They don't need to be good, I just need tanks. Later on, I can make them cheaper. For now, I just need them. Plus some trucks, because we will supplement some trucks into those divisions. Focus tree-wise, I've not yapped too much. I just went down the basic good old Japanese focus tree, which will change very soon anyways, but I thought this video is also a good tribute to something we will lose very soon. And yeah, for now, we'll still prioritize industry, go down total mobilization, which is more than fine. And then if I have time, snatch the research slot, but I should also really go down China, because we should start China very early. I know we have 0 troops right now in the field, but we do need to start China sometime. I will duplicate this over here now and create the guard division, which is just tanks and no support companies. For the actual fighting division, support companies are fine, but yeah, I don't want to use that as garrisons, so stop that. What we'll also need is an agency. Also forgot that nearly. I should really write down bullet points, but I'm full ADHD today. It is bad. I remembered a few things delayed, but so far I think we are actually on a good track, like our tanks. Add applause laughingtrack.mp3. For the rivalry over here, I will try to keep it balanced, so we'll go for carrier fighters and all the other stuff, because we will actually build carrier fighters a lot, even for normal fighting, because we get a very good carrier fighter very early on. I know there will be 0 surprises about that. Once again, laughingtrack.mp3, thank you. And now for my final trick to really fix garrison for good. We're gonna build a tank with the heavy machine gun, wheeled suspension, riveted armor, and I think that's actually it. Plus, of course, our MIO, giving us this very, very cheap interwar tank, which you can perfectly use for garrison. I'm gonna put as much mills as possible into tanks and 5 into garrison. And to really narrow it down that we should only use these tanks over here for garrison, I will go over to our garrison division and only allow it to use the interwar tank, which kind of screws over our garrison situation again, but I don't want to hear anything. By the way, I do it the other way around with the other division, so it doesn't use the interwar tank. That would be bad. So we have an extra research slot. I'm actually going to use this for Navy stuff, and passive sonar sounds pretty good for sub detection. We kind of really need sub detection, and I don't really have time for radar, so yeah, we're going to do that. We also have finally enough arm experience to convert an entire row of tanks into motorized infantry, making this a perfectly 50-50 hardness tank division. So this is literally just legal. I will upgrade the tanks very soon, but this should make it a lot better, and we can probably build a lot more now, because trucks do be a lot cheaper than tanks. They're actually very soon ready. A lot of them are actually full. And while we wait for our, hopefully, strong tank army to be prepared, let's talk about today's fitting sponsor, Warthunder. Play now for free on your mom's laptop, your best friend's PS5, your brother's phone, or your own Xbox, situated in your living room. And yes, Tom, I'm in you. I'm in your walls. Take control over 2,500 tanks, planes, ships, and helicopters from 9 different major nations. These vehicles range from base 0 armor, World War II AA, to, nice opinion, but here have some rockets worth the GDP of Liechtenstein, modern helicopters. Dive into intense battles with authentic sound effects, realistic graphics, and incredibly detailed vehicles. Meaning, if you meet a Russian tank in the early game, you better start thinking about your next vehicle, because your shot can't penetrate this block of metal, and you just gave away your position. I love this game. Become part of the over 9 95 million player large community, which is literally willing to leak confidential information and go to prison just to make the favorite vehicle feel slightly more realistic. Yes, this happened multiple times. And best of all, new players, or if you haven't played in 6 months, you can use my links in the pinned comment or video description to sign up right now and get multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive vehicle decor Eagle of Valor, 100,000 silver lions, and 7 days of premium account for PC or consoles. This offer is available for limited time only, so don't miss it. Like I miss ammo piercing rounds when I see a tiger. So why are you still waiting? Join now, and maybe together we can find the depot. We got the battleship. We are already pretty far down the MIO and got to the better efficiency gain and less resources needed for tanks. Super nice. And because the first battleship is free, as you see over here, even though it should be very expensive, it cost us nothing. Let's do it like this. A lot of gun, good NTR, should be fine. And yes, we can't build it yet, but we can also just leave the treaty very soon. As soon as we're at war with China, we can probably just leave. I'm also gonna go a bit into Air Force with quite basic CAS and following that up with absolutely quite basic fighters with the spirit of the more gun the better. And we're fighting China at the beginning, so these don't need to be anywhere fancy. Just a lot of gun, a lot of bombs. I mean, even if I would fight anyone else, I would just make it like that. But especially in this case, they don't need to be super fancy. But we do need some of them. For the next decision here, we really don't need recruitable population. I know we are Japan, we don't have a lot of men, but we only use tanks. So our bottleneck will never be population. It will be tanks. And our losses will never be high, except our tanks get encircled. And then we're screwed anyways. So what I will go for is factory output. Faster tank production. Very good. And lastly, before we really go into the war, we just got radios. So I would say let's upgrade the tanks to being a lot better. As I tease the gun, we will lose hard attack, we will lose piercing, but that doesn't really matter because we gain soft attack. Super nice. I will also go over to the gasoline engine, making this less reliable, but let's be honest, look at our reliability. We are a little bit, you know, up there, pretty good. And we can balance this out with wet ammo storage, which makes this a bit more expensive, but also allowing us to add a lot more to this tank. And now it's basically fully armored and has a good punch, plus speed. So let's build that. Focus tree wise, we're also looking pretty good, all the way down here to creating our own faction. And I would say let's go into the Marco Polo Bridge incident, basically kicking off this war. And maybe I should like build 3 levels of an airport here. Yeah, something like that, because the best air force is kind of useless if you can't use it. We also get our second spy now, so this allows us to prepare a collaboration government. And yes, we 100% need to do that, otherwise we just won't get China. End of sentence. Yeah, we might also need a few more tanks at the front line, so ready or not, get deployed, go over here and just look good. So focus done, we get the war goal, we will immediately go in. Focus wise, we have quite a different focus now, because we need to go down Navy, not mainly because we want Navy, that's more important later, but because we want the Zero, which is a very good aircraft carrier capable fighter. What we could also do in the meantime, which feels a bit more important, I never did this in a test run, but I just thought about it, get Supremacy of Will, just giving us a flat out bonus. And because we have some more time anyways, for the sole reason that we have currently a modifier that is crippling us very hard, let's get that. And how do we get rid of that modifier? It is very straightforward. You click this event 5 times and yeah, you just quote unquote escalate the war until the negative modifier is gone and you can actually fight. Because I will not fight right now, my tanks will drastically underperform, but I will grind for army experience. And because my air force is up and my navy is right next to me, we should be able to do that. Give me free experience, China. Thank you very much. And yes, I will not be calling my puppets in for 2 reasons. Firstly, I'm gonna be honest about this, having a smaller front line right now just does straight up help me. Secondly, using puppets to kind of supplement non-tank units feels a bit dirty. I'm not saying it's not allowed in this challenge, I'm just saying I will avoid it, like, as much as I can. Hopefully 100%. My test runs have barely gone past China. Will we capitulate the US early? We shall see. I don't know. But they will try to give me units, which I despise. Research-wise, what I always recommend if you build a lot of tanks, maintenance 2. So we're gonna rush down maintenance 1. For the sole reason that you get easy maintenance, which is a very cool thing you can put on your tanks, making them way more reliable and, more important for me, cheaper. Just straight up cheaper. Plus, maintenance companies are not too bad with tank divisions anyways, so we're gonna do that. Later on, I guess logistics would also be good, plus radio, so maybe I should do more support companies. I tend to forget, which is super stupid. They're very important in HOI4. As for Navy, in the background, I will build a decent destroyer. We have an easier time hunting down the pesky submarines that will try to destroy our supply line. So yeah, something like this. seems pretty good. Let's build it. Also, Italy, thank you a lot. I take the support equipment. That is actually super nice. And don't forget, escalate, because there's not really a notification to show you when you can do this again. Yeah, I forget this a lot. I didn't this time around, so I'm super proud. Anyways, let's give the land unit something. Balanced rivalry, that's how we want it. And let's get supremacy of will. What I didn't explain before is why I go with this tank division, because it seems like pretty bad on paper. It is not amazing. It is also super small. The reason I like it a lot is because it's the closest thing you get to 15 with tank divisions. Because on this terrain over here, 15 with is pretty good, especially in forest, like a good all-rounder. Oh, they're doing forest attacks. They're kind of desperate. Losses-wise, I lost 2k and they lost 200k. So as a defensive KD, this is pretty good. I will also go a bit into medium tanks now because maybe later on I want to change it, even though I love light tanks a lot. We've also finished the first compliance government, so let's not wait and do another one. Focus is done. We're also nearly done with the negative modifier. What I kind of forgot to do is manpower, because normally you go down over here, get 3% spiritual mobilization, which kind of counters what you lose from total mobilization. Because I don't have that and my recruitment law is only 2.5%, I actually have negative recruitable population. Yeah, that's not very wise, so let's get this. At least our leaders become better. Answer expert, I take it. They can now do blitz, which you will actually need in a second, because I can probably, click this button over here, removing the negative modifier, super nice, and push. Also, we skip this focus over here because we lost the negative modifier. Very good. A very evil trick is to actually send some troops back, let the eye attack, immediately go back to the front line, with most of these units being not entrenched anymore, and start a counteroffensive by clicking behind them. This way it should be super easy to just bullet them out of their fortification lines and get this ball rolling, because now they have barely any entrenchment left. This becomes a lot easier to push. Yeah, this is a very evil trick, but it works and it allows me to push through very evil defensive lines, okay? Therefore, it's not a cheese, it is a necessity. By the way, if we actually get the supply up over here, this would be amazing. We do. Okay, this is super early. And normally, they really like to fortify the supply up, and you can never really push here. Us already having that, by kind of skipping a big encirclement over here, gives us a lot of leeway to do a lot more damage. So, yeah, I'm gonna prioritize pushing them out of the railway line here, and then maybe even encircle them all the way over here. If that works how I wanted to, let's see. But I gotta say, the potential is here. It is greedy, but to be fair, it's also very possible. Yeah, for no manpower, this is working. Yeah, we just got a very, very good encirclement. How many units are those? 25? Yeah, in the background, let's just go for another compliance government and do more shenanigans like this. With the manpower also secured, I would say let's actually go down the naval focuses. And maybe I need to import a bit of fuel very soon, because we do be running out of that. But we can also go to mobile warfare and get some bonuses over here. Stability seems pretty good. There's a lot of modifiers behind stability, and I want them. Anyhow, before pocket, 400k losses versus our 6,000. That is a big difference. And I did see like 30 divisions there for a second. After pocket, we are looking at 600k losses. So there's around 200k people that just got evaporated. A bountiful harvest, I would say. And yeah, we're currently getting really pushed everywhere, and our defensive lines are very thin, so we need more tanks. I am already building more, but this first push was very successful, and the amount of equipment we cost the Chinese did probably hurt them a lot, because with the Chinese you have to think in equipment, not manpower. They will have enough manpower. Doing another aggressive push into this region, securing us even more supply, and yeah, very good. New encirclement over here, and I might be able to push into some other very good territory for more supply hubs, and yeah, very good. Problem is I'm very stretched thin, so even though they're not 100% ready, I'm gonna get myself some more tanks, a new attack order, and that should hopefully do it. Very important right now. Prince of Terror could make it a lot easier to occupy this land, so let's get him. I'm also gonna add easy maintenance now, reducing the cost of the tank from 8.17 to 7.35, so nearly one down, pretty good, and giving us way too high reliability, so I might actually remove wet ammunition storage, because we just don't need it anymore. So, new harvest, very good encirclement, goodbye units. Question now is, do we actually want to extend our front line? And I think the answer is no. I think we want to stay where we are for now and build up some more tanks. I should also prioritize for reinforcements instead of getting new tanks, because they are kind of running thin in all the ways of this world. But I'm also not going to completely stop to encircle them to keep them in a deficit. Tanks are better in pushing than defending, so yeah, we should kind of use that. And if you want to know the current losses, I have 32k versus their 1 million. Yeah, I think it's kind of going good. Not perfect, but pretty good. So my my current plans to infiltrate the government of China has failed because both of them are in prison. Why do you do this to me, game? And why did they get both imprisoned at the same time? I'm not even joking. They both have been imprisoned like within a 2-day range. It was super unlucky. I know a way out of this, but it is stupid. The way out is get this guy over here, get an extra operative, and then bust him out, and then launch the operation. I hoped I could get it done before we get Nanjing, but no. Anyways, let's get the zero. So, these things over here are prepared, which I quietly built in the background. They're still missing a little bit of equipment, but we don't have the time anymore. I really want to push forward. I really want to get the capital city under my control, and I really want to cut them off some of their industry, which they don't have that much, but to be fair, we need her. So, yeah, let's get out of the way, launch this, use these ships over here to do that, and go in. So, very important, you rush up here, you help with this, you go into here, you help with the encirclement here, and that should be that. And with a force attack, I'm pretty sure we should get this, especially when we push from both sides. Yes, encirclement. Very nice encirclement, by the way. So we got one over here, too. Beautiful. Didn't cost me a lot, damn, it cost a lot, which is a very good sign for a good encirclement. I would say with the push looking this good, clicking this button here should be something that would be very helpful. Puts me a little bit on a timer to get it done, but if I'm not done in that time anyways, I'm screwed. So I guess let's do it. A completely different note. Pushing here would also be nice. I'm gonna try to get the final holdouts of China. Adaptable, very useful, and also very useful, the supply hub over here, which we hopefully can connect very soon. But the supply is actually super needed. It's not useful, it's needed. It is bad. I forgot one very important tank upgrade, and I just remembered that. That cost me a lot of brain power to go around. I can install it now, no problem, but it's way too late. Fuel drums. Getting this little bit of fuel capacity on your tanks is very useful when you have no supply. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. If you hate yourself and want to do this challenge too, I recommend that. Take it. So I think I got all the cities I need. The only thing I'm waiting for now is the collaboration government. And that would have already been done if all of my spies wouldn't have been captured at once. So yeah, I'm still kind of processing that happening. That was so stupid. And funnily enough, the collaboration government finishes on the 4th of July, which will probably be the date where they capitulate. So yeah, I guess Happy Independence Day or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, this is super painful to play, by the way. I'm commenting not a lot. I'm always showing the highlights, I know. But just imagine 2 hours of pure suffering and agony, and then you get a feel for this war. It is not good. The situation looks super stable now, but like most of the time, it didn't. It just didn't. The line could have collapsed at any second. You have to optimize this so hard that I decided to build a fort line over here because they kept attacking and draining my tanks over here. I never built forts, but in this case, it really stopped me from losing tanks, meaning I've finally a production surplus again, which is super useful. And I just noticed I never start building the zero, which is super stupid. So, collaboration government is done, and yeah, we're finished here. Meaning I can beautifully just take everything, which I will. Happy Independence Day to my Chinese viewers, literally 5th of July now, because we needed to wait 1 tick. And right after that, I'm just gonna release all of China as a collaboration government. I know I lose a lot of resources doing that, but the upside is that I don't need to defend this anymore. I just don't need to think about this. And they give me all of the factories for free. I don't need to occupy this. I don't need to use any tanks in here, and I can fully concentrate on the next enemy, the US. So, little time jump, not in the game, but in real life. I wanted to record the next part tomorrow, and yeah, I think 2 weeks have passed since tomorrow. Thanks to a little thing called EU5 Early Access, which, yeah, I now have 100 hours in that game, so you can calculate how much work I got done. Yeah, and I am working on this big video here on the side, so yeah, it also takes effort. Anyways, on our list now, fighting the US, very critical here. They have a lot of submarines, and we have to get rid of those. They can really bottleneck our convoys, and they are something we're really missing right now. So my main priority right now is to stop anything we're building at the moment and queue up a whole lot of dockyards, because as much as I love those battleships, and we will finish them in time, we do need right now destroyers. So I'm gonna queue 2 up. They are a little bit expensive, but they're gonna be super helpful in destroying all the submarines here. What we also need is nav, which we are building, and I will invest more into that. We need more zeros, because they're a pretty good carrier fighter, and we probably also need more tanks. Yeah, aside from that, we are pretty good. We need convoys too, so I'm gonna put them up there, and yeah, that's gonna be my priority. I'm gonna spend a little bit more time at peace before we actually go into the US, but not too much time. As for my attack plan, I think it's a bit obvious. We just gonna go for Hawaii and take that. It's a very good naval base. It is pretty straightforward, and controlling Pearl Harbor really allows us to dominate the ocean. For our still very limited navy, I would actually say we have enough big ships. Our real bottleneck right now is destroyers, because we don't have enough to really protect off the sea tiles, and most importantly, we don't have enough to really take care of the enemy submarines, which is a big problem, because you might have noticed most of our access is via ocean. Most importantly, all of our imports. We don't have a lot of resources. We import a lot of resources, even from our puppets. So yeah, that sucks. But the solution is to just get rid of most of the US submarines. The main navy we should actually be able to destroy via the airports we have over here, because even though we have aircraft carriers, having these airports too allows us to get some more local dominance over the areas over here. And yes, you indeed have heard correct. You will get a navy guide now. I kind of scuffed one because I'm not a navy expert, but if you ever wanted to learn the basics on how navy works and how to utilize what ship the best, you can listen up now. So firstly, aircraft carriers. All of these aircraft suck. I'm just gonna delete those. They're super unorganized. We haven't built aircraft capable airplanes in quite a while, which means we didn't really build any at the beginning. So they are pure chaos. What I will do now, I'm not gonna say this is optimal, but it's a very good way to kind of keep an overview, is to fill up my aircraft carriers with 50% fighters and 50% nav. So we have air dominance and we can do damage. For that, I will wait for these planes over here to finish. But what we can do in the meantime is set up the rest of the navy. Firstly, submarines. Pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna get them out and I will put them into the reserve for later. They're just gonna be annoying factor. They're pretty straightforward. I'm gonna have like little packs of submarines just destroying convoys, which you can do via convoy raiding. Also over convoy escort, which is no, they're not good for that, but they're really good for convoy raiding. Does a lot of damage. Next, I'm gonna get out all the destroyers and light cruisers to make a patrolling navy. Very, very important here. You don't want to remove all of the destroyers and light ships from your big navy, because they have a big punch, that is true, but they're also very hard to repair and very expensive to replace. So having some destroyers and light ships as kind of a shield in front of them, which they kind of work as, is good. So I'm gonna keep 1/4 with my attack navy. Or maybe actually split one more time. Yeah, that, which I think is like 3/8. Anyways, rest of my ships will become my patrol navy. We'll get a spotting admiral. The big navy here already has one, which is a battleship and attack veteran. That's actually fine. You know what? I want to switch them up. This one has spotter and air controller, which is very good. So yeah, switched up. Submarines, pretty straightforward. They're just gonna hunt. So I'm gonna make them into wolf packs of 8, and they're just gonna convoy raid all the way in the deep ocean, be annoying, destroy some convoys. The spotting navy, I will split 4 times, and these are gonna be our main spotters. Later on, I will use the newly built destroyers just for hunting down submarines, because we kitted them out to be really good for that. They have a lot of explosive charges, which are very good for submarines. But for now, these are gonna be over here, spotting these, let's say 4 tiles over here, and clearing the way for our main fighting navy. As for our main fighting navy, I'm gonna put it into this port over here and not do anything with it yet, because I want to fill up the aircraft carriers first, and then I will change its setup a little bit. And no, you can't keep like a big blob of aircraft carriers like this, because there are big negative modifiers for overstacking aircraft carriers in one fleet. We have to split this up, sadly. It would be a dream, but we can't. And you know what? For now, I'm just gonna drill those ships. Also allow them to automatically split off to repair, which is a bit risky, but allows us to repair faster. And as for research, I will definitely research bigger naval landings. These are very useful for the mainland. Yeah, with everything preparing, I would say let's start justifying against the US, and in 100 days we go in. First destroyers over here are also finishing really quick, though this shouldn't be a problem. So I think I have most things set up. I will give a small navy recap right before we start everything, because what I just said might have been a bit confusing, which I respect. Theme of the channel, a bit chaotic here, but yeah, now I'm just gonna fill up the aircraft carriers with the better planes, at least as many as we have, which is not too much, I just noticed. Yeah, we funnily enough missing fighters, I think. Yeah, we have a lot of nav. I'm gonna reduce nav a bit. A lot of nav is super good for hunting down all the areas here, especially for submarines, but short term it's a bit annoying. But yeah, aircraft carriers full. We can even drill those for... Oh, actually, I can't drill those. I can't drill those on aircraft carriers. My bad. Would have been cool. But yeah, I'm gonna split the navies, so we're gonna have 2 task force. Gonna put one to another port so they don't starve themselves too much to death. And that's gonna be our navy setup. The big navy is gonna be the strike force, which only leaves the port when it's really needed. And I'm only gonna do it in this area here. I'm gonna ignore the mainland Japan a bit, because it's very likely that they will not try to land there. Our convoy raiding navy will be a bit everywhere, just being annoying. And our spotting navy is gonna be over here doing its best spotting. And I might actually bring some of the spotting navy based tanks over here, so they actually work more in these waters. And this spotting navy over here will be for convoy escorts. That's why I give it a sea mine, because it will drop explosive charges on submarines. And we're building more of them like really fast, so that is super nice. For focuses, I think we're pretty much done. I'm gonna lock in naval production, so we build ships faster. The new tanks will train on the mainland, and the rest of the tanks are currently just coast guarding. That is all they're doing. But it's super important because I can't defend everything with the navy right from the get-go. It's just not possible with our capabilities. German non-aggression pact? No. I will attack the Germans at some point, so that seems like it's in the way. And yes, I've done something with my navies I normally never do, which is actually give all of them symbols. But I think for you as a viewer, this might be a bit more easy to see what is what now, with submarines, strike force, and spotting. Just notice my spotting navy wasn't spotting. That is bad. The war goal is done, and a few people have embargoed me already. So let's get this rolling. War goal is out. My spies are currently already working on a compliance government, which is gonna be quite nice to have. For the navy, I hope everything goes as planned. The naval invasion, that is super good news. The naval invasion for Pearl Harbor is out, because striking that as a supply harbor would be super nice. They have a very big harbor over here, and getting rid of that would really get rid of a lot of their repairing capabilities. We also are on a strict deadline right now. We actually already destroyed some stuff over here. We're on a strict deadline because I found it out in a test run. 1943, one of my favorite focus trees in Chile, it actually is one of my favorite ones, betrays me and declares war on me, and then joins the Allies. Bad news is that I will not be at war with the Allies, only the US. But because they are joining the Allies and declaring war on me, the Allies will be at war with me, meaning the US will join the Allies. So 1943, early 1943 is our deadline, so we have around 2 years to win, which is quite the limited time frame. So I would like to prioritize those big ships here, because they will definitely help us in getting a naval landing through. And yeah, we want that. Our submarines are already annoying. That is super good. Our destroyers over here should be destroying their submarines as good as possible. They're kind of still getting away, but we are damaging them. Getting some nav out here should help though. We're also starting to destroy their destroyers and light cruisers, which is super good because same rules applies to them. If they're out of cheap ships, they can't protect their expensive ships anymore, meaning we will sink way more of them. Right now, they have a big amount. They have around 200. Okay, they have less than 200, but let's say 200. This number will go down by a lot very, very soon. The submarines are a bit harder to kill, but the destroyers should be easily destroyed, especially if the big navy is not here yet, which it isn't. Yeah, they're really starting to get rid of their destroyers. 11 in one fight. That is good news. As for the naval landing over here, there are no troops here. AI, which has got Hawaii for free. Yes, I love this game. It is great. What I will do in the meantime is also get this island over here to remove more of the repair capabilities and a small naval landing over here. First big battle, and it looks like we're winning. Oh yeah, look at the destroyers we killed. No big ship, but we lost one submarine and a few planes, and they lost 13 destroyers and one light cruiser. I've not announced all the losses they've made so far, so let's see how far they are down now. 140. Yeah, we killed around 40 destroyers, but that also calculates in newly built, so we probably killed more. They're kind of fast to replace, but at current pace, they will run out super soon. Talking about running out super soon, we are running out of oil. Another big battle, and 16 destroyers. They're really running out now. Oh, and that is more than just destroyers right there. We caught the fleet again. That's actually beautiful. One aircraft carrier. It is a decent one. 1936. It's not even a converted hull. It's not perfect, but it is one of the more up-to-date ones. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Just don't look at my fuel. If the big ships get out, I'm running out. Yeah, I think that naval landing is not working. The amount of troops they've stashed on here is actually crazy. So yeah, just go home. On another note though, we got this island over here, which is good news. Oh, I killed 4 submarines. Okay, we might be getting onto something now. Yeah, they're down to 50. They started with 80. And with the fuel situation improved, meaning most of the big battles are over and we basically got naval dominance, we can probably plan the real naval landing now. I'll go through the same ocean zone, so yeah, happy with that. Oh, this is super good. They're down to 33 submarines. They can't hurt my supply anymore. This is genuinely huge. As Japan, your convoys are your bottleneck. I mean, that and naval dominance, but if you know how to cheese the AI, naval dominance is not that hard. It really isn't. Okay, next big step. We secured our convoys, so we have that. We have barely any submarines left. Our naval invasion is ready. We just need naval dominance, and our big ships will still take a while, which is a good sign because we got naval dominance earlier than I thought we would. What we can do now, it's a bit complicated, is search through our attack navy here, check the designs, and look specifically for the ships that have high max range. And then we take these ships and make them their own fleet. It's a bit risky because we weaken our attack navy, but it works. Like this ship over here only has 3,000 range, so we can't use it. So I checked basically just our aircraft carriers guys have the range. I'm gonna take those to Pearl Harbor and tell them to help with that. And this naval invasion basically should start as soon as it can. I just noticed I'm at war with Brazil. The only reason I noticed because I'm engaging their navy with my spotting navy, and my navy is winning. What? Did Brazil guarantee America? How are they in this war? They probably have a focus for that. True. That's funny though. So naval landing is a landing. I'm gonna do a force attack to really get it through. Very important are the first few moves here. Mostly trying to get this encirclement done, and also super important, trying to push for the airport. There's an airport around here or here. We need that. It's one province off. But yeah, we need this airport. Otherwise, we are kind of screwed. We are about to get San Francisco, which should secure us local supply. Most importantly, though, it also should allow us to get all of our tanks over. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm going to give up all of my Coast Guard. We have naval dominance anyways. They have, jokes aside, they have barely any navy left. So yeah, I think this shows it off pretty well that that's pretty much most of the navy in the region left, if not everything. Because the numbers are not looking good. They have 4 aircraft carriers, but even worse, they have 80 destroyers. I imagine most of them are outdated. Even worse, they have 5 submarines. So they can't even hinder my supply over here anymore. This is just dominance from my side. And talking about dominance, I will increase the range of all of this. So a little bit later, the push is going very well. We're waiting for all of our tanks to arrive, which will take a bit more time. But once they arrive, we should have a super easy time in just overtaking the US. I mean, you know, knock on wood, we're still on a little bit on time pressure with the end of the year, meaning the allies joining. But yeah, giving us 2 choices. Either we consolidate our claims or we try to overrun them, which is the more risky play. What we want to do in the end is kind of on us. So yeah, let's see which presents itself easier. We will run out of equipment at some point. The US just has more means of production than us. It is what it is. But I am confident that we should be able to do this. Yeah, navy-wise, we have annihilated them. It is just over. Our army is also slowly trickling in, but for now we are understaffed. So with a few open holes in the north, I will try to push up to Seattle to kind of all of the coastline here to prevent naval landings a bit. Even though we have naval dominance, I'm just not trusting that. Oh yeah, we have naval dominance. Even if the allies go in now, that should be safe. The most important push is to Texas. For the sole reason that they will have most of the fuel production over here, and if we cut this off, we can drastically decrease the Air Force usage and gain the benefits of this oil for ourselves, which is huge. Anyways, while there's little resistance up here, I will still push into the north, but just focusing on that would be a mistake. And thank you a lot, Italy. Okay, I pushed all the way to Texas and I consolidated my front line back. Capitulating the US before we get to the allies part is sadly not possible, even though I wish. What we should do now with our total naval dominance is utilize it for something decent when we are at war with the allies, which we are very soon. I'm also currently controlling the 2 air zones over here. Problem being is if I push out of this, I lose air supremacy for the sole reason that the US has a way bigger air force than me, and yeah, I can't change it anytime soon. I lost too many tanks. I'm negative and that really dragged me down. The good thing is my economy is kind of on a growth, very sustainable. I can even build within my puppets to kind of lower their autonomy and increase my mill count, because I do get a lot of the mills from my puppets. To be precise with China, 75%. That is a lot. And even better, it's a safe investment. I will not call the Chinese into this war, so I can never lose that. What I can lose is this front line over here, but I think for now the best strategy is just to let the US really grind down, lose all of their things, get myself into a supply situation that I can easily defend, and also a situation where I do have supply reverse, so these troops please retreat. Oh my god, immediately going back. I sometimes hate retreating in this game. But yeah, a lot of green. I will just, you know, ring them out a little bit and then go in. They have more mills, but they don't have endless manpower, even though it looks like it right now. And even more importantly, they have limitations to how much units they can supply right now, meaning their supply over here is not good, and even better, their units are running out of equipment. So I feel like if I do a few more months of just holding out, digging in, we can probably overrun them very soon. The best news about this is that I'm actually fuel sustainable now, meaning I don't need to import any more oil because I got California, which feels very good, I gotta say that. I declared one Chile, kind of hoping it might bypass this, but yeah, it doesn't. They're still gonna do this very soon. On a really bad note, the Germans seem to start losing right now, which is surprising because the US is not helping them, and they're still, yeah, the allies are still beating them up a bit. Yeah, started a bit of an offense, have made a huge encirclement on the south over here. It is probably too late to win against the US now, but this might give me the momentum I need to actually capitulate them. I do be pretty sure they will join the allies before this though. Because if you didn't know, the US get a huge defense modifier own homeland. I mean, also offense, but you know, people tend to say that is the best defense. So yeah, I guess 2 defense modifiers. Yeah, Chile just did proactive defense. Probably joining the allies right now, meaning that I will be at war with Chile and then also the allies. I think they're still very busy over here, even though it is... Yeah, okay, this was huge. The US have 4 million losses now. I have 500,000, don't get me wrong. I'm not in the clear. And I'm probably not that much, but I'm slightly negative in tanks. This push is going very well, though. Even though it's too late, it's going very well. You gotta say, push is going still surprisingly well. I'm doing more and more bold moves, but I guess that's how you beat the US, getting greedier and greedier and encircling more and more and more. And my strategy is if I push the airports really quick, they can't use theirs. Funnily enough, it works. Yeah, do gotta say this pays off. We got a huge encirclement in the middle. If we can hold it, I doubt it, but it should keep the US units busy long enough for me to capitulate them, hopefully. There are a lot of units in Washington, though, and I'm not sure if we can do this without getting Washington. Apparently, we can. Beautiful. This just made this entire challenge a lot easier. Germany might be losing, but fighting just the US is 100 times easier than fighting the allies and the US. I think I will be directly annexing some of the smaller land, but as for the US, I will puppet them with all of the resource rights and war reparations. Plus, the Navy is surprisingly cheap to take now. I wonder why. But yeah, peace to the over. The Japanese Protectorate of America, super cursed. But yeah, we have no more resource problems. I'm very sure of that. We have a lot of minor wars like Brazil and Chile. But let's just say if I get involved with the allies now, this should be easy. First and foremost, I will probably dissolve my own faction to come into the Axis and help the Germans to kind of defend their own region over here, because I can't let them collapse now. We can ask to join a faction now. Not joining any wars yet, but allowing us to get all of our stuff over and then join the war. I gotta hand it to them. They have the Soviet Union under control so far, but not the rest. So, war goal against the UK is ready, because I did prepare that. My plan is to kind of rush down Canada to protect my US stuff, because I have a lot of my resources from here at the moment. Don't want to lose that. And help Germany in the European mainland, because otherwise I feel like they will fall apart. The UK at this point should be absolutely busted, so I'm not gonna just land on them. And they have a bigger navy than me, so I'm gonna prepare some submarines and just basically cut off the fuel, but it will take some more time. So for now, let's just go in. And yeah, Canada has capitulated. Super good news. We also secured France, which was about to fall. It was actually super critical. And with my forces split, this was kind of risky, but I didn't really have another choice. I needed to save the US because they would have been called into the war anyways, because we're already at war with Chile and Brazil, and they would have just joined the allies anyways. So yeah, let's deny the Dunkirk moment over here and encircle them, plus clean up the rest. Very nice encirclement over here, already bringing me up to 12% war participation. It's actually quite a lot. But with that done, let's go down here and save the arses in the south, because the British did another naval landing. Yeah, they do that a lot. We did clean up America, which is huge, meaning our units can go away from here, and they should build up sufficient units now to just control the coast on their own. And yeah, once our tanks arrive, we just rush the British units here. I would say next step, let's save Italy, and that should be Europe secured. Oh, they did a new landing. I guess they have this under control. Italy is always super fun for big encirclements, and Turkey joins the allies. I guess the fun is never ending. Will we ever get to the UK? We will see. But yeah, for now, enormous losses for the allies over here. We are overrunning them with our light tanks, and in the background, I'm already preparing the next tier. I started building some medium tanks, and they have real soft attack, because they have howitzer artillery, which is pretty damn good for soft attack. Plus, they're also not slow. I mean, actually, I could make them even faster. I don't care about how expensive they are. We have nearly endless industry now. And even better, nearly endless resources too. So Italy's cleaned up. I guess we now help with Turkey, and that could actually allow us to go into the Middle East, which is the main source of oil for the British. I mean, they're producing quote-unquote a lot right now, but if we raid that or force them to use the Navy, that would starve them out. Yeah, wherever our tanks appear, the enemies tend to have a bad time. Instant frontline collapse, that's all I'm saying. We even crossed the strait with 50 tanks. Okay, that's a bit overkill. In the background, we did also save Greece. I didn't even micro that. Yeah, it's going well. And because we remove so much pressure from the Germans in Europe, they can just annihilate the Soviet Union for us. And I would love that, because defeating Germany is way easier than defeating the Soviet Union. So the Germans winning here makes this kind of easier. And industrial capacity-wise right now, we have more than that, so we would win. And yes, I'm not counting Italy. Italy is not a big factor in this. They're even... Actually, both of them are really not good with manpower. They are really struggling. If you look at us, limited conscription. We have not lost that much men. I wonder why. Yeah, I think Turkey is gone. I'm sorry to my Turkish viewers. The Japanese are here. If you want to see a pro-Turkey video, you can watch my Ottoman video. Today, you're not gonna have a good time, I'm sorry. Oh, we're already in Iraq. I didn't look. So we got Suez. Also good news. And yeah, it's really cutting off the British from the oil production. I imagine they got it from deals in the Middle East. They're down to 13 now. That is not good. They will probably run out of fuel very soon. And I've not deployed my submarines yet, so they're about to have an even worse time. Okay, Mexico joined the Allies, meaning they will have a front line with the US now. I hope the US can handle this at the beginning, because I have new tank divisions prepared, but they are both in the Japanese homeland. But I will punish the Mexicans severely for doing this, because they will take away my oil in California for a bit. Oh, the British fuel. It is not looking good. And the British have zero fuel. Let's go. And that is the moment where we bring our navy over and greet the British. So I'm going to use this opportunity to just kind of get all of the Middle American states involved and maybe clean up even most of this over here. War participation wise, I'm already at 40%. And I don't know how the US did it, but they're now the Confederate States of America. They had a different name a second ago, but I guess it is what it is. Yeah, I think that is a good time to do that, because the war goals are super fast right now, only 10 days, and we're still in 1944. Currently, I'm still trying my best to kind of deny the English all of the trade with building more and more submarines, because they've got an overdrive with importing right now. They're importing a lot of oil, and they got some fuel reserves again, but they do be really running out of convoys, and most importantly, allies. They are really running out of allies. I do notice a lot of the British units are currently very busy all around the world, so this might generally be a very good moment to strike the homeland, and I'm pretty sure if I unite all of my navies here into one big blob, I should be able to get naval dominance, at least for a little bit. Plus, they are weakened, so it is worth a try. And the only great power left, because I know Chile loves to turn into a major at some point. But yeah, I think we should try that. So all naval invasions are ready. Gonna get the navy out. Yeah, they didn't all went out. No, only right side. Okay, first big naval battle with the upside that we have way more fuel than them. And yeah, it is devastating. I've held back my navy for a long time because I know the British are scary. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I could have done this way faster, because they lost a lot in that battle again. And yeah, they have way more than me. Ooh, they're actually damaging my destroyers here. That was kind of hurtful on both sides. More on their side, but this is also expensive what we lost. So we have green navy everywhere, looking very good. I would say let's launch all of the naval landings and get the British out of the way. I'm kind of optimistic this time, and yes, a third time is hopefully the charm, because let's not talk about the other two times, okay? The British are very hung up over here. We have really drained all of the fuel, and that's actually not a lie. They have zero fuel right now, and we're winning on all fronts. I could just easily push them back here, but honestly, I think it's a good distraction, so I'll allow it. The Germans are even winning in India, which is kind of funny to look at. Anyways, I do believe if we land everywhere, we should have this, even though they have enormous amounts of people. Some places, they are partially just naval invasions, to be fair, but we should still take them seriously. Otherwise, we might have a problem. Yeah, they've prepared so many naval invasions. That's why you see so many units in the port, because the British just prepare a ton of naval invasions. I did get medium tanks in the meantime, which are like 20 with mechanized and a lot of support equipment. So these should actually have a punch, but if they really are the game changer is yet to be seen. I think the Navy has also seen better days. I'm used to being on the left side. I was confused for a second, but yeah, we are doing good. TLDR. I do gotta say, so far this has been the best naval landing, mainly because of the pure chaos we have inflicted on the British by just overwhelming them. As far as I can see, yeah, we gained air dominance, which we never did before. So yeah, a combination of them having no fuel anymore and us having a lot of logistics on our side allowed us to kind of sit this out. And even though they have a naval invasion prepared in every port with a lot of units, we broke through and we are annihilating their navy. Very important for this is that for the first time, I really noticed that there are two types of naval invasions. I never looked at that. Don't ask me how I could have missed that. But yeah, I used the floating harbor ones, and they are generally very useful, especially because I was building floating harbors for quite a while and then apparently never used them. Once again, this is not a guide. This is just watch me suffer while I learn the game the hard way. But yeah, we got the dominance, which is huge. We need to get rid of have this big pocket in the middle with the capital city because our front lines being split apart like this and us having a very thin corridor here is kinda dangerous. So I hope we can take care of that, but they're also super entrenched in this middle part, so we shall see. Oh yeah, that looks good. Any new great powers? No, very good. More participation, 40%. Losses, a lot. Losses on the allied side, more. I mean, if you count the Germans fighting, you know, they're not as competent as us, so of course they have more losses. But for us, just being an island with not an empire at the start, I think we did very good. And yes, I think on paper it was the Japanese empire or something, but we had Korea and we had this bit of China, so not quite the empire. Now, quite the empire. And yeah, London has fallen, big encirclement, enormous losses. They're up to 7 million now, that is crazy. Their navy is just gone. I don't know, their navy is really, I guess, you know, without fuel, it is a lot harder. And yeah, they should capitulate around now, because we do have at least one collaboration government. Yeah, one collaboration government in the UK, which speeds up the capitulation by a little bit. I think when Liverpool falls, this is over. And the medium tanks have been super useful, because the light tanks, I gotta be honest, they're just not doing it anymore. Anyways, peace conference. Firstly and most importantly, that's the Falkland Island question solved. As for everything else, I will take my time. I think I will secure myself the American area and take more land starting from there. I mean, obviously also gonna take the land around my corner here. That is kind of important. Plus, yeah, I don't want the Germans to have that. But we have by far the most points, so this shouldn't take too long. So, horrible peace conference is done. And yeah, in preparation of the German war, and while they're still busy with the Soviets, and they will definitely win against the Soviets, my idea is that we take over Iberia, and from Iberia, defeat the rest of Germany. Not the most creative plan, but should work, and maybe we can even do it while they're still busy with the Soviets, if we are super fast. So let's go in, declaring the next war. It's 100 days. And while we're still in the Axis, they can't join any faction. So yeah, that's a pretty safe move. And my tanks are pretty good, so without all the British Air Force bonuses and shitty naval precision, this is not hard. It's actually super easy. I gotta say, I love those tanks. And while we do this a little bit of cleaning up in the world, let me apologize for the current upload schedule. It is horrendous, and it will get better in the new year, I promise you that much. This year, for multiple, also very much private reasons, has been horrible to make videos in, but I tried my best. Delicious side snack of Portugal and some free navy. And I gotta say, without the help of an editor that's currently helping me with the raw cut and zooms, yeah, this would have been even worse to do. So at this point, thank you to you. You're kind of helping me a lot through this time. But I don't want to make like boring videos that are like fast to make, because I don't know. Like if I play a nation, I want to have like a cool end goal, and that is harder to do because, you know, stuff like this, as I said, Japan tank only is agony. It is super hard if you want to try it yourself. I don't recommend, but you can. But it certainly is a good challenge. I think that's a fair way to put it. But thanks to all the supporters that are supporting the channel. It does help a lot. I don't e-bag that much, but everyone who's also financially helping, it makes a huge difference for me. But I would never ask someone to do it if you aren't, right? Like, watching is always enough support. And yeah, I feel pretty honored I can do this YouTube stuff. I want to experiment a bit more with different stuff in the future, like EU5, just because I personally enjoy the game. But I'm pretty sure until we get a HOI5, I see no reason to stop playing HOI4, like ever. I just like the game. There's endless possibilities to play it, and we haven't even scratched the mod surface. So, and DLCs are still coming out. I mean, we are playing Japan, and you know what's coming? A huge Japan and Asia rework. You could also use my code in the Paradox store to support the channel. Quick sellout, I'm sorry. It's not like I'm running out of content with this game. I think my sanity is the main problem. Oh my god, the Iceland World Conquest. Very fun. But yeah, for the Florius channel next year, big goals is gonna be more community stuff. Like I do plan some community events, maybe even some community MPs. Plus more stuff with other content creators, like we had the Dragoon videos with the WWII mod, and I guess just normal HOI4. Maybe even some other content creators. The videos with Aldril and Bittersteel were always a lot of fun to do. Yeah, honestly, let me know what you like to see more of. I'm very open once I have more time to do basically most of these things, because they're just fun. And in the background, I had an uprising over here, and I don't know why. I guess I just inherited a lot of unrest, because I checked the rest of India, and it's completely fine. Also, my guard tanks are more than enough, so that's also not the problem. Bengal just decided to rise up for some reason. Oh, there's actually a modifier for that. Why did I inherit that? And does it go away now that they rose up? Please tell me that it goes away now that they've risen up. That is so stupid if it doesn't. No, it's still here. Oh my god. There's nothing I can do, and I inherited that from India. Oh, that is so stupid. All I can do is do brutal oppression in these areas and hope that makes it go down. It does. For some reason, I just need to brutally oppress these 3 provinces here, and that solves all my problems. Great. Thank you, HOI4. Very cool. I already feel like the bad guy, and the game is like, you know what? Just in case you didn't think about it, here, make something worse. Talking about making something worse, let's do this. The war goal is ready. Yeah, let's not wait any further and go in. At the beginning, we should just overrun them. And yeah, it kind of depends on how fast we do this, how easy this will become. I mean, for now, easy. But to be fair, most of the Germans are probably at the Soviet front. So yeah, I could make a war goal against the Soviets just to be on the safe side. So I can attack them when they are at the weakest, if they survive. And yeah, we're obliterating the German navy because there is no real navy here. Mussolini deposed. Wait, isn't it like the second time this happened? This must have been the second time because Italy's already a puppet. So I just got deposed again. That is actually funny. But yeah, the push so far is going very well. There will be a point where it will just slow down because the Germans have way more air force than me. But the more land we conquer right now, the easier we get off a beachhead. Plus, for the long term of this plan, I know modern tanks are not matter, but I do be modernizing to modern tanks, also with anti-air tanks, but that will still take some time before we're there. So we can finally finish the doctrines. I don't know, I never really got arm experience. So yeah, we should be really strong now. Losses wise, we did lose quite a lot, but yeah, the Germans lost more to us, but we're not just fighting the Germans. To be fair, most of these losses are the Soviet Union right now. They have quite a bit of losses. Plus, of course, we're getting completely obliterated by the German air right now, which is a thing. I did just remember that I built enormous airports for the Germans to defeat the British, so they're currently using the airports I built for them to cast me, which is ironic. But now that I know that's the reason, I just need to capture them, and I just need to be a bit more careful. And I only really built those big airports in France, so if I just counter-build my own amount, we should be fine. Should. I also need to be very careful with my pushes right now, because if I just blindly push, they will push me back. Anyways, over here, purely nice encirclement, plus we got another airport, so slowly gaining air dominance. And I'm gonna start using this momentum to justify on a few nations over here, because I don't really plan on defending this. Therefore, I might get a lot of nations involved that are currently not in the Axis and defeat the Axis faster. And yeah, this is very easy to defeat. Germany, Italy, Hungary, they're all in one block. They're all quite, you know, they're not Soviet Union big, so that's why they're nice to capitulate. That's just very straightforward and no naval battles involved. But yeah, the losses here are super nice. Just gotta check, do I have a tank deficit? Yes. And I need mechanized. I really need more mechanized. Yeah, Italian Civil War, I guess nice timing for that. I don't get the puppet though, it's literally just a Civil War, not a Civil War that helps me. And they joined the Comintern. Okay, that's the dream already dead of having Italy as a free puppet. Yeah, I've retreated a bit and I'm basically just waiting out the Germans to kind of drain themselves on me. Air supremacy was unachievable. They were really grinding down my planes, so I completely modernized them. And now I'm trying to catch up with the demand, which will take a while, but we are getting there. I'm also using the moment where I'm a bit stuck to just justify nations and, you know, call them in. This way, this is not really wasted time. This is more, okay, it's still a waste of time, but at least I use it for something, okay? I don't want to hear anything. They have such a big air force, like compared to mine, it's so big. Oh, that's actually great. Now the AIs deal with the partisans, not me. Very good. I just noticed leadership changed in Germany. Something happened there, but I also feel like we should push very soon, otherwise it's just gonna turn out too late. I mean, I could grind them down to attrition and I would lose all of the manpower, but they own all of Africa and they get a trickle non-com manpower out of that, and that is a lot of non-com manpower. Therefore, yeah, I think I will not be waiting that out, but I do think we should very much just push into France now and get this rolling, because I think I have the better air force now. Not more, but better. But I also have a big quantity now of fighters. So yeah, let's go in. The first few encirclements are very good, because that's basically all the frontline troops obliterated. Problem being that they will bring over the air force very soon, and once that happens, or maybe it has already happened, partially, we better have consolidated most of the airports. This should be our big priority right now in this push. The encirclements were huge, don't get me wrong. They kind of bought us time, because now they have to scramble units from all over Germany and maybe even the Soviet front. But the real battle is getting the airports, otherwise they will just put us to a hold with very limited forces. Yeah, the Air Force has arrived, but I think we got enough airports. We could get this under control. Good. Yeah, a lot of green. This was very red a second ago. I'm just happy, okay? This was very dreadful to consolidate. Even though fighting Germany late game seems dreadful, trust me, fighting the allies, especially including the US, is way worse, okay? So I'd rather fight this super Germany with all its might on land than the UK and the US always doing naval invasions, because not hearing the naval invasion sound is just beautiful. You know, sometimes silence is just a thing of beauty. And oh no, my end boss, the way too large Bulgarian German tank chassis. I still love this. For some reason, the Bulgarian licensed tanks are just way too big. But yeah, we got this. Let's not stop. This is going so good. You know what? I'm just gonna start to justify in Sweden too that they join the Axis. They might turn into a great power, but to be fair, at that point, I don't care. Yeah, also declared on Sweden, and they have turned into a great power. Yeah, not good. Okay, mostly just annoying, but yeah. Yeah, it's Italy gone. Sad news is that this Italy is now allowed to survive, I guess. Anyways, we have to push to Hungary now, so let's not get too hung up about that. But I do say I love how fast these tanks are. I made sure they're fast. They are expensive, but they're amazing. And we are more than just in Berlin. Oh my god, we just capitulated Bohemia. Very important, by the way. I should probably justify in Switzerland while it's very cheap. Yeah, this is with a lot of negative modifiers. Still a year. This would probably normally be 2 years. It's just crazy. I'm just getting the moment we capitulate the Germans, the Soviet Union will be at full strength again. So I might chill a little bit with this push over here and just get rid of the Hungarians and the Swedes before I actually capitulate Germany, because yeah, on the other note, there could be I think if I take Vienna, it's over anyway, so might not even take Hungary. Then let's just capitulate Sweden. And yeah, my navy took care of the blockade, so we can cross now. And we're on the Swedish mainland. Yes, that is definitely the attack what I wanted to make. Thank you, HOI4. I think I capitulated German in the background because the game is lagging. It's lagging super hard. Yeah, that is Germany gone. I guess with those news out of the way, let's just finish the rest. I'm sorry, Paradox HQ, but sacrifices have to be made. You're now Japanese. And yes, fall of Budapest. That makes sense. Hungary gone means only Sweden left. With my war participation being 66%. Yeah, Bulgaria just turned into a great power. Oh, it is so much access. But there should be Sweden out of the way. Please. Oh my god, how do they still have victory points? How does this count? How do these 10 villages in the north count? And how do more and more partisan nations? What is going on here? I hate this. This region is just not working. Why is there more and more partisans popping up? This is my personal punishment for not doing well Conquest in a while. I feel it. I'm learning things about the new DLCs that I really didn't need to know. Wage a big Bulgarian tanks. I don't care what you want from me. I will make you disappear now. We need to end this. Norway's gone even before Sweden. Oh my god. Is it because they own this one city here? No, don't tell me. Don't tell me that's it. 96%. It could be. You know what? I'm gonna order these to go over there. But what I actually wanted to do is say, while this is going on, let's not risk a peace conference and immediately go against the Soviet Union. Because peace is a made-up concept I don't believe in. Let's continue pushing. Yeah, the Swedish still haven't capitulated, by the way. The only thing they're holding on to is this island. Oh, Sweden has capitulated. Just as I was about to plan a naval landing. Oh, now let's get Bulgaria out of the way, finally. That's the Axis war done. Wait, no! Why? And why is there a Sweden? I don't want to hear anything, okay? This doesn't change anything. And all I have to say is that the Soviet push is going very well. I do gotta say, the Soviet war, I'm not microing at all. It's just happening in the background. And I guess the Soviets were so weak, it's actually a joke. It's so easy. It's just a free war. Finally, my tanks arrived at Uruguay. I swear if there's a new great power in a second, I'm gonna lose it. Oh, good. I have way more points, so yeah, I should definitely use those. Most importantly in this peace treaty, I have to deny the Soviets to release a ton of puppets. Okay, horrible peace treaty incoming for the sole reason that, I mean, I hate the Soviet Union. This looks horrendous. And in my opinion, these nations shouldn't be released for the sole reason that I occupied the land while we were at war. I know how to solve this problem, but it's gonna be a bit annoying. But basically, I'm gonna call in the US to kind of clean this stuff up. How did they inherit all the German units all around the world? Oh my god, okay, it's just US, kill this man. I don't know if you just saw this, but there were a lot of German units that just reoccupied the land I just got. And of course, they count as majors. For some reason. How does this count as a major? How does Uruguay count as a major again? No. Well, Conquest, just don't do them. But you know what? I'm gonna do the unthinkable now. I'm annoyed. I'm gonna call in all of my puppets. They clean this up for me, okay? Thank you. And that should be the Soviets gone. It isn't. Please, Soviets, capitulate. I'm attacking you from both sides. Yes, only missing the UK. And yeah, my tank's already entering the territory. Very good. I love that the UK is Northern Ireland. This is just absolutely brain dead in its own priority. Goodbye. They've released so many small nations. At least I finally get a chance to steal a British Navy. And my puppets I probably don't need anymore, so I've actually got some freedom. Let me change that real quick with some construction projects. puppets. But yeah, it's time to get rid of my puppets for a true, well, conquest. And yeah, would you look at that? The game has ended. Yeah, not really for me. I have to do quite a bit more. Like, eat up all of the small nations that are still around or exist now because of, I guess, world politics. Yeah, fun. Mostly missing stuff in South America, which I normally call into the war against the Comintern or the Axis, but after the Uruguay incident, I was literally just too scared, okay? I just didn't want to have another, oh, this is a great power and you have to annex them now moment. This is just horrible. But yeah, we're cleaning up and our war goal against Switzerland is, thanks God, soon ready. War goal against Switzerland is ready. Let's immediately do another one. 100 days. Oh yeah, this will be another 1,000 days, I guess. Great, but let's go in and this one. Goodbye, Switzerland. Yeah, at least this is super easy. We have so much air. We are the world. The world just doesn't know it yet. Okay. I mean, okay, maybe they know it. We are kind of already all over the place. Delicious. The only upside about this is that all the great powers are gone and the game is pretty fast for so late in the game. Turns out if there is no other great power, the game is fast. Yeah, I fixed HOI4. You're welcome. Just gotta remove all the other great powers and it's super fast. Anyways, oh, the US has a little bit of free will. Let's change that real quick. Yeah, goodbye US. Annoying thing is that I have to clean up a lot of units every time I do this because, yeah, this way I can be 100% sure I only have tanks. There's no other template. But yeah, generally speaking, I will be just cleaning up the world now and I come back to you once we are at this point because this is just a waiting game. There's no more challenge in this. I have won. I feel like 2 years late into the game and I'm starting to really clean up the last bits here. Only missing Peru and those two islands over here. Funnily enough, not my longest world conquest. This is actually on the faster side, but I could have been way faster if I just taken more risks with the Soviet war. But also, to be fair, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to take those risks. I already had way too many failed runs. Yeah, I'm happy this worked out this time because there's some really, really sweaty moments in this. China and the US is, yeah, Britain is annoying, but still a good challenge and it can really drag out the entire playthrough. They have a big navy. Okay, maybe I should have declared on Peru earlier because apparently Peru is a great enough power that war goals are super cheap now. So it takes me like 10 days to justify on Cuba now. I wish I would have known that early. I'm gonna remember that for future playthroughs. But yeah, let's finish this off. Haiti's gone. I just literally declared on them, but my tanks are actually really good. Actually super good. I'm surprised how good my medium tanks performance is. And yeah, that's Cuba gone. And Haiti, always stealing the ships. Only missing Peru, which are probably melting in the background. Let me just micro a little bit more and this should be over soon. We actually have good supply too. Yeah, you should be deleted in a second. Yeah, they cooked. Also gonna steal a navy. Very good. And yeah, officially world conquered. No other nation left. Sadly, we finished this earlier than I could develop nuclear missiles, which I do have now, but yeah, it's a bit too late for that. Very sad. I have quite a lot. But yeah, this was quite the challenge. It took me forever to get this video recorded, not just because of a HOI4. There's a reason why I haven't done this yet. From my side, I hope it was worth it. I did suffer a lot. I really did. These were my beautiful tank divisions. I mean, that's just a guard. Also, don't forget to send love to Warthunder. I don't often take sponsorships, but this one I did gladly. And if you want to support the channel even more and have a part of your soul to sell, then let the sponsor know who sent you and click my links below and secure yourself multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive vehicle decor Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account on PC and console for new players, or if you haven't played at least for 6 months. As for my supporters, I appreciate it a lot. It helps a lot. If you want to support me, you know the ways down below. Either by Patreon, YouTube membership, even affiliate link where you don't pay anything extra, but I get 11%. Everything helps, and we will see each other next time. Goodbye.